So, following a disappointing loss to the Steelers, one of Lamar's worst days as a starting quarterback, also losing Ronnie Stanley for the season with a broken ankle. We get news today that Marlon Humphrey has tested positive for COVID-19. And yeah, more bad news, B.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, first and foremost, I hope he has a speedy recovery and doesn't have too many issues with it. He tested negative. They said he went home for an illness. I believe it was on Wednesday, and then tested negative the following couple days, and so was able to play in the game. And then tested positive. I believe it was a test he took before the game, but not 100% sure. But
Yeah.
regardless, he's going to be out now until he can test negative for several days in a row, and you know, it's an unfortunate thing, but it's not unexpected with the
No.
way the league is going. Obviously,
Yeah.
for Baltimore, I don't think it'll be a huge issue for them. They have the Colts and then I believe the Bengals after that. So they should be able to handle both of those games without Marlon Humphrey if need be.
Well, it depends on if anybody else tests positive, right? Because
Mhm.
if it turns out that illness that he had during the week actually was COVID-19, and he's been practicing the whole week and spread it to other people,
Yeah, I mean,
that could be a
we'll have
problem.
to. No, not the Bengals. It's the Patriots, the Colts, and the Patriots.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that could be an issue, and we'll just have to see. Obviously, that you can have it and still test negative. For a while.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just a wait and see thing right now. The Steelers said that all their everybody in their organization tested negative after the game. So
So
hopefully it's an isolated incident, but we'll
yeah,
see.
yeah, absolutely. And like you said, they tested negative right now, but what happens in a couple of days if
Hmm.
some of those tests come back positive, especially for the Steelers, because they've already had to push back, one of their games.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they would do in the case of the Steelers having to miss another game, since, like you said, they've already used up their bye week back in week 4, I believe it was.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what the plan would be then. Um, that at that point they would have to start looking at adding an extra week to the season. But like I said, they all tested negative, so we're not there. Hopefully nobody else does.
Right.
We saw the Green Bay Packers running back AJ Dillon tested positive,
Yeah.
but looks like from what I've seen, nobody else in Green Bay has either.
Yeah. Yeah.
So hopefully it stays that way.
So this is the risk of playing in an NFL season is you're gonna have things like this happen. I mean, it's inevitable, right? Like I think every team is going to affect them at some point during the season.
Hmm.
Because you can't control a virus, right? It
Right.
doesn't matter if you try to come with some BS rules and these fake precautions that you're doing. That's not going to do anything in terms of not spreading the virus, right? The Ravens just let 4,000 fans into the stadium. I'm sure that doesn't help.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you have players that are asymptomatic early on. They might test negative early stages of COVID, and turns out they have it. And they, once they test positive, they've already spread it. That's my fear in this case. I'm worried that he's been practicing the whole week, and you got that whole defense could be at
Hmm.
risk. Right.
Yeah.
So now we're talking about missing a game or two.
Yeah, and they're already a little thin in the secondary because of injuries. Like I said, if it is isolated just to Humphrey, they should be fine for the next couple of weeks. But yeah, if it spreads, obviously it's going to be a much larger issue. There's also kind of a strange story in Las Vegas right now with Trent Brown. He tested positive for COVID on October 21st. So, he went on the list. They quarantined all, their other offensive linemen. Supposedly everything was fine. Trent Brown was activated and then just deactivated again, right? And he's in the hospital now apparently, and they're saying that it was from a bad IV, like a poorly performed IV, I guess is what they're saying.
Okay.
But I mean, who really knows, right?
Yeah.
I've been on the of the mindset for the last few weeks that the NFL has just kind of decided they're going to push through no matter what, and they're not going to let positive cases affect the season at all. So I wouldn't really be shocked if he was hospitalized for COVID, and they're just kind of giving other reasons right now.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. You and I both made predictions that the NFL would probably be shutting down right around now, and really they should. But like you said, they look like they're just trying to push through now, no matter what. And whether they have to lie about it, cover things up, or just ignore it, they're gonna do it. So
Okay, so what
yeah,
they're
man.
saying is someone on the Raiders medical staff accidentally forcing air into his circulatory system during an IV.
Oh yeah, that's dangerous.
Yeah.
That's dangerous.
So
So yeah,
again, hopefully
hopefully
he's okay
yeah.
and gets through that without any further issue. But I don't know, man. Like I if I'm a player, I'm not trusting the NFL's handling of anything at this point.
No, no. We'll see how much longer we can go on with this, but yeah, bad news for the Ravens, especially coming off a disappointing loss yesterday. So we'll see how the rest of the week goes. Um, yeah, yeah, it's tough.